when we go live here for PTA in the future. All right, let's shift gears and let's just talk a little Super Bowl odds. How's that sound? Some people are going Super Bowl odds. What are you talking about, Chloe? What is this? Well, you guys know I put a lot of stock into the gambling community, right? I feel like they usually got their finger on the pulse pretty well. Sometimes it looks a little shady. They're so close to knowing what's going on, right? Well, Fox NFL tweeted this out. The top 10 Super Bowl odds as we head into week 14. So these are updated completely. Keep in mind, this isn't Fox NFL Sports. It isn't their Super Bowl odds. These odds come via DraftKings Sportsbook, one of the most popular sportsbook in online betting, right? That's out there. Here's what they're showing. Number one, Super Bowl odds. The LA Rams at a plus 450. All right. And I'm pretty sure this is to win the Super Bowl. This isn't just to make the Super Bowl, I believe, right? Plus 450. Second is the Seahawks at plus 750. And then in third place, via DraftKings Sportsbook, you've got the Green Bay Packers at a plus 1850. That is really impressive. Now you're going, hold up a minute. Isn't Chicago in first place? They are, right? Isn't Chicago leading the North? They are. Aren't they the number one seed in the NFC? Last I checked, they are. Aren't they in the driver's seat? Yep. Isn't Ben Johnson just all the rave? He's the real deal. Yep. Is it Caleb Williams? Boy, he's a franchise quarterback. No, but that seems to be the speaking point. It's funny. I was watching the McAfee show earlier today. You guys know I love the McAfee show. And they were talking about stats that Himbo, which they love Himbo stats. They use Himbo stats. If you guys don't know who Himbo is, go look him up. He's just kind of a stats guru that works for ESPN Analytics and all that good stuff. So they love pulling his stats. Himbo sent me these stats on this player earlier today, and they just rave over it, right? Well, he sent some stats that would sound pretty darn familiar. I should have posted the video on Twitter, but I was waiting for Pat to try to post it. That way I could just retweet it, right? But essentially what Himbo was saying is, Caleb Williams is like ranked 32 and 33 in important statistics like CPOE, completion percentage, missing targets, things like that, right? All the advanced analytics. As soon as Pat realized what they were doing, that, these are negative stats towards Caleb, he started kind of referring to them, and Connor did too, like they're fake stats. Well, what's CPOE? What's over expected? Guys, do your own research. Do your own You keep complaining about how these stats don't matter and they're fake numbers, they're fake stats, but you don't even understand what they mean. You don't even understand how they're calculated. So how can you say they're fake stats other than the fact that the national media wants to prop up a large market Chicago Bears team, just like they did with Mitch Trubisky, just like they did with Justin Fields, and now they're doing it with Caleb Williams. How many times have we seen this movie? Again, the Bears are a very good football team this year. Their quarterback is playing like cheeks. And I say quarterback because if as a scrambling quarterback, he might be the best scrambling quarterback in the league. But that doesn't win you Super Bowls. That doesn't win you championships. You can scramble all you want to scramble. But if you're going to complete 55% of your passes or 58% of your passes and have literally, he's ranked in the 40s in adjusted completion percentage, right? Basically meaning if you remove the drops, he actually drops on the list, no pun intended, from where his completion percentage is. So there's a portion of the NFL fan base that goes, oh, yeah, it's because his receivers are dropping passes. No, actually, he goes from ranked like 33rd into the 40s when you remove the drop passes. How does that make sense, right? So, again, it's a higher completion percentage when you do the adjusted completion percentage, but he drops lower on the list when everybody else is compared in the same manner. So, again, the reason I point that out is, why are the Bears not higher here? Again, you got the Rams 1, Seahawks 2, Packers 3, Bills 4, Eagles 5, Patriots tied for 5th, the Denver Broncos 7th, the Colts 8th, the Kansas City Chiefs 9th, and the Baltimore Ravens tied for 9th as well at plus 1,800 respectively. So, where are the Bears? Why does DraftKings Sportsbook and all the other major sportsbook, why do they not have the Bears as high as Bears fans think they should be? Why is that? You guys know where I've got Green Bay. We talked about our power rankings, and I gave you guys the complete formula and how we like to look into that, right? I've got them 4th. I seen that, and I went, damn, is that too high? Well, the numbers are the numbers. What's their winning percentage? All right, let's tally in their offensive scoring, their defensive scoring, their scoring defense, their offensive yards per play, their defensive yards per play, and the ever so important turnover margin. We tallied all that up against all 32 teams. The Packers fall in number 4 spot. Then DraftKings pops up and says, hey, we've got them in the number 3 spot to win the Super Bowl. But the Bears seem to think they're overrated, right? The Bears fans seem to think they're overrated. And any other NFC North team, well, of course, the other two, isn't it funny? The Vikings and the Lions fans, boy, they're like a fart in the wind. They're nowhere to be found, are they not? Like, it got quiet real quick with the Lions and the Vikings fans. But again, this made me kind of stick my chest out a little bit and go, okay, our power rankings are pretty spot on. Like, I didn't plan on doing this, but since we're talking about it, we're on the topic, right? Let's hit it real quick. I'm just going to quickly, I'm not going to put it on the screen, but I'm going to cross-check these and see how many of these teams we've actually got ranked towards the top or similar to the spot where DraftKings got. Number 1 on my list with a 3.7 score, low score wins, we've got the LA Rams. Number 2, I've got the Indianapolis Colts, number 2 at 5.8. They've got them in the 8th spot, according to DraftKings Sportsbook. Now, the Colts are starting to struggle a little bit, right? Pat McAfee's really worried about that. But nonetheless, I've got them in the number 2 spot. They got them at number 8. The Seattle Seahawks, I've gotten the 3 spot. They've got them in the 2 spot, so that checks out. Green Bay Packers, I've gotten the 4 spot. They've got Green Bay in the 3 spot. That checks out. Number 5, I've got the New England Patriots. They've got them tied for 5th best odds. Number 6, I've got Detroit, and Detroit is nowhere to be found, right? So you're thinking, okay, why is Detroit ranked so high on your power rankings, Clayton? The main thing is points per play on offense and yards per play on offense. They rank 3rd and they rank 2nd in those categories. And their turnover margin is 7th best in the league. So those are the 3 things that's holding them up. Now, winning percentage, they've done a horrible job coaching that football team. They're in the number 13 spot with that particular ranking. Defensive points per play, they're really struggling at 14th, so they're kind of middle of the pack across the league, and 11th in yards per play. So Detroit doesn't make their top 9 here, or top 10, I apologize. I've got Detroit in the 7th spot now, or the 6th spot, but keep in mind, the 6th spot. Keep in mind, that's going to shuffle a lot after this week, obviously, right? I've got Denver in the number 7 spot, and they have Denver in the number 7 spot. How cool is that? I've got Houston 8, and Houston's nowhere to be found. Here's why I've got Houston so high, okay? The main thing that's keeping them propped up, their scoring defense is 4th best in the league. Their scoring yards per play allowed is 4th best in the league, and they're 2nd in turnover margin, right? So again, where is Chicago on this list? Chicago we have in the number 12 spot, and the main thing that's helping them is winning percentage and turnover margin. They're 1st in turnover margin. They're 3rd in winning percentage. What's that tell you with the other numbers being kind of down? Tells you Ben Johnson's doing a hell of a job coaching. Anytime the winning percentage far outweighs the other categories, that tells you, okay, they're making the most out of the least in that regard. So Ben Johnson, I feel really confident and comfortable saying that Ben Johnson is going to be a great coach. So again, that's your Super Bowl odds. Now, let's cross-check this to someone I've become very fond of over on Twitter. And thank you to Ryan Schlitt, Pack Daddy over at Packernet Podcast. He tweeted this out is the reason I caught it. Kevin Cole _ said the only 100% correct week 14 power rankings at unexpected _ points. Here is their power rankings and how they sit currently. Rams 1, Packers 2. I've got the Packers 4. DraftKings has them 3. Unexpected points with Kevin Cole has them number 2. Bills 3, Chiefs 4, Seahawks 5, Lions 6, much closer to where I got them, right? Actually, in the same spot. I think I had them 6. Patriots 7, Colts 8, Eagles 9, Ravens 10, 49ers 11th, Broncos 12th, Cowboys 13th, Texans 14th, Chargers 15th, Jaguars 16th, and then you got the Chicago Bears in the number 17 spot. Why is that, guys? Think about this. If the national sports media, ESPN, Fox Sports, the McAfee Show, everybody is talking the Bears up like they're arguably the best team in the NFC, right? But when you go to DraftKings Sportsbook, they don't have them in the top 10. You go to my power rankings, I don't have them in the top 10. You go to unexpected points, they don't have them in the top 10. Why is that? Again, Ben Johnson coaching his ass off. That team is struggling in some very important aspects of the game. If their turnover margin flips and they go from being the best in the league just down to 13th or 14th, watch them lose game after game after game. That's what's keeping them afloat. And the reason I mention that, because this huge matchup between the Packers and the Bears this week, the main thing you got to focus on if you're the Green Bay Packers is protect the freaking football. You've got to protect the football. If you protect the football, you win the ball, like Matt LaFleur says, you'll win the game. And that's what it's really going to come down to. So, again, if they continue to take the ball away and protect the football, the Bears may beat the Packers at Lambeau Field. But if we come out and if we break even on turnover differential, I feel really, really good about the Packers' chances of winning that ball game. Last I checked, 6-point favorites are the Packers as a set. The last time I looked at the line, and we'll give you guys an update on that tomorrow for sure. But with all that being said, you can't overlook any team, right? This is the filter I like to run things through, and we'll move on to the next segment. We just beat the Lions, right? We beat them by 7 points, but I think we would all agree there was no point in that game where we felt like the Lions were going to win that game. It just kind of felt like they're hanging around, but the Packers are the better football team. I'm going to ask you a series of questions here. Who would you rather have? And I need rapid fire in the chat from you guys, okay? Who would you rather have at these key positions? Get ready. Everybody get ready. You ready? Quarterback, 1 game to win. Jared Goff or Caleb Williams. 1 game to win. Not this will be the better quarterback in 3 years or 5 years. 1 game to win. Jared Goff or Caleb Williams. I'm going Jared Goff all day long and twice on Sunday. Why? Because he's a pocket passing quarterback. He plays the quarterback position. He's not going to look to scramble every other play, right? Everybody in the chat, Goff, 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 right? Goff, there you go. Now, let me ask you this. Running back, 1 game to win. DeAndre Swift, hell of a running back for the Chicago Bears. Or Jahmyr Gibbs, who's grading out as the top running back in the league right now. It's close. I'd be okay with either. But if I have to choose between the two, I'm going Jahmyr Gibbs, right? Jahmyr Gibbs. Let's see the chat. Gibbs. Said it before you even answered. There you go, Joe. Gibbs, Gibbs, right? Okay. Now, so just some key positions, right? Let's think offensive tackle now, right? Look at the Lions' offensive tackles. Let's just go with their best. Penei Sewell at right tackle, right? Or whoever the best tackle is for the Chicago Bears. I know I'm being a little bit disrespectful, but I honestly don't know. I mean, Penei Sewell's considered pretty widely that he's a top 3 offensive tackle, maybe even the best offensive tackle in the game, right? He definitely got paid like that. So if you chose between their tackles, you would say, yeah, give me Penei Sewell, right? Now let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Edge defender, pass rush. I don't mean to laugh, but who are you taking? Montez Sweat for the Bears, or are you taking Aiden Hutchinson from the Lions? I'm going Hutchinson. So again, that doesn't mean the Packers are going to beat the Bears just because they beat the Lions pretty handily. You felt like you controlled that game the whole time. However, it is worth mentioning that when you look at that roster compared to the Packers roster or compared to the Bears roster, all the key positions, the Lions are the better team. And the Packers took care of business. Again, any given Sunday, anything can happen. What's the one X factor? Actually, there's 2 X factors. The Bears, I don't want to say they've gotten lucky, but they've been very effective at winning the turnover margin, number 1. Number 2, Ben Johnson seems to be a better coach than Dan Campbell. Those are 2 huge factors, guys. The head coach, the guy at the helm, and winning the turnover battle, that's absolutely huge to come out with a dub. So they have that going for them. But roster-wise, Lions were more talented. And again, what I mean by that is like, look at how Dan Campbell recklessly goes for it on 4th down. Now, I know Ben Johnson goes for it on 4th down too, but Dan Campbell will be doing some stupid stuff, right? So we just want to throw that out there, right? Yeah, I love it. Biz says, Hutch, although we have his kryptonite. Amen to that. Amen. So again, there you go. That's a great point, Coach. The Bears center and guards are better. Completely agree with that, man. Dahlman's playing his ass off at center. They look really good on the interior. And where did we hit home at a couple times was with that middle pressure, right, on Jared Goff. So that's an important role too there. So let's say, Coach, that their center and their guards, right, let's say the strength there and the Detroit Lions lack thereof, but the strength of the tackles for the offensive line or for the Lions, let's say the offensive line is just a push, right? You're still taking the quarterback, you're taking the running back, you know what I'm saying, across the board, edge defender, the Lions are the better football team. So That's how I run things through. That's the filter that I run things through when I'm trying to pick a game, trying to truly understand, all right, who's got the advantage here. Again, like Mike Tyson said, everybody's got to play until they get smacked in the mouth. That team comes out hot any given Sunday, they can win that ball game, right? So anyway, that's just a quick little look. Oh yeah, there you go. Biz 1987. Clayton, I'd rather have Love, Tom, Parsons. Oh wait, we do, right? It's just you got to tip your cap to Goody. Goody went all in, boys, and he knocked this stuff out of the park, man. So it's going to be awesome to see this team grow together and continue to get better. But I just want to hit on those Super Bowl odds really, really quick like that, okay? If you guys are watching this video back later, let me know in the comments. Matter of fact, let's just keep going. We'll tack one more thing onto this segment, and this will all be in the same video, so you guys ain't got to check out another video if you're watching back later. Let's talk quarterback for a second. Jordan Love. Ladies and gentlemen, for the second time this year, the NFL announces NFC Players of the Week, Week 13. Your Offensive Player of the Week is our very own Jordan Love. 60% completion percentage, 234 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he had a passer rating of 124.2 for the second time this year. Jordan Love is your NFC Offensive Player of the Week. I think it's presented by Gatorade, right? So Jordan Love, we tried to tell him about Toyotathon, did we not? We tried to tell everybody, and people laugh. They think it's a cute little joke. No, this is real. This is a real thing, right? As Bates says, let's go Pookie. That's right, man. So again, and Coach Lynn, Goody is the man. Completely agree with that, man. So Jordan Love playing excellent football right now, right? What you're seeing with this Packers team, Micah Parsons playing his best football. Jordan Love's playing his best football. The offensive line, believe it or not, are starting to play their best football, which is really, really good to see because they struggle with run blocking and everything early in the season. They seem to they're starting to put that together a little bit better every week. You look at all the key positions we talked about. McDuffie's playing out of his mind. He's playing like a top 10 linebacker right now. I know we may be getting Quay back, but he's playing like a top 10 linebacker. Adrian Cooper's grading out in the top 20 amongst stack backers. Think the middle of that defense, right? And then, of course, post safety, it's always Xavier McKinney, and you got the easy the balanced rotation of him and Evan Williams playing post and spur. When you look at everything, right, across the board with this Packers team, the only thing that's missing, this breaks my heart to say it, the only thing that's missing on this team that might hold them back is a dominant 3-tech. It's a dominant 3-tech. And I hate to harp on it. And I don't want to be that fan because I can't stand fans that go back and go, we should have drafted this one here and we should have drafted that one there, and that'd be the perfect draft. It's not how the draft works, right? But what did we harp on all offseason when many people were screaming cornerbacks, wide receiver, this and that? We talked about 3-tech. This was a 3-tech heavy draft. And I don't even know some of the players that we like the most. They're probably struggling, to be honest with you. If I can get to my draft sheet without knocking everything off my desk here. I'm gonna name a couple of them off real quick. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm facing away from the thing here. So Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, Walter Nolan. I think Walter Nolan's been injured the whole time. Derek Harmon, Tyleek Williams, TJ Sanders, Alfred Collins, Darius Alexander, right? Omar Norman Lott. Those are some of the top defensive tackles. Remember, we were saying, man, any of those in the top 4 or 5 tiers, get them in here, get them working with Wyatt, right? Obviously, that was even before you traded Kenny Clark. So you give up Kenny to get Micah Parsons. I think we all agree that's a great trade. But again, 3-tech is where we're struggling, right? I don't know if we're struggling or not, to be honest with you. I mean, I just showed you earlier on the earlier show today. If you guys want to go back and watch it, Warren Brinson's got a 13% pressure rate right now, minimum snaps. But it's like, let's get that dude some more snaps, right? You go out and you grab another D tackle today. I'm not saying our D tackles are bad. We don't have a dominant 3-tech. That's the only thing missing. And what's cool is you still got the 3rd best odds to win the Super Bowl this year. Some power rankings have you as high as number 2. I've got us in the 4th spot. And if Warren Brinson continues to develop and play good, and Kobe Wooden, the general, continues to play better, you may go on this little run here and you got a chance to win the whole damn thing, right? And it all starts with Chicago this week, man. You got to, like Matt LaFleur says, you got to go 1-0 every single week. But Jordan Love being your offensive player of the week on the NFC side is absolutely awesome. Now, let's cross-check that. Okay, he won player of the week there, once this year. How's he looking in the MVP race? Glad you asked. Kalshi Sports, however you say it. Breaking: Drake May is now the favorite to win NFL MVP on Kalshi. Isn't it hilarious? The Bears passed up on him to draft Caleb Williams. They've done it again, right? 45% chance here, according to Kalshi Sports, that Drake May wins the MVP. 44% chance that Matthew Stafford wins it. In third place, it's significantly lower, but still third place, Jordan Love at 7%. 4% for Dak Prescott. So Jordan has now leaped over Dak Prescott in the MVP race, according to various gambling sites, right? Why do I mention that? NFC Player of the Week for the second time. Is it just me or the Bears fans that seem to think EPA doesn't matter? And the McAfees and these other guys that seem to think these are fake stats, the CPOE and all this. Jordan's knocking those stats and analytics out of the park. And the numbers, the MVP odds, have Jordan as a top 3 quarterback. Caleb Williams is stinking up the joint in all those specific statistics that are supposedly fake stats. And he's nowhere to be found, right? I'm just saying. Maybe there's something to that, right? Maybe there's something to that. Maybe I'm losing my mind too. Maybe it's not a big deal. But nonetheless, that's what you got going on with the Super Bowl odds, and obviously Jordan Love leading the way. So if you guys are watching this video back later, let me know in the comments what you think about the Packers Super Bowl odds and Jordan Love, his MVP odds. I don't care if he wins MVP. I'm sure Jordan don't care. It's all about getting that Lombardi and bringing it back where it belongs, and that's in Green Bay. Now, listen, it's an uphill battle. I do not feel like the Packers are the best team in the league right now. That's just me personally. I do not feel like they're the best team in the league right now. But they're definitely in the top 5. I'm seeing everything across the board. I showed you all these different reference points and this and that. My PTA power rankings, where I've got them at in the number 4 spot, I see them as a top 5 team. What you need to do now is be playing your best football as you go into the playoffs. And it seems like the Packers are doing that. We'll see if they continue that going in against the Bears here on Sunday. It's going to be an awesome game. I think it's going to be a 1-score game. I do. I think the Packers have a great shot of winning this ball game at Lambeau. I think we got the better quarterback. I think we got the better pass rush. It's going to come down to protecting the football and not getting crazy, right? You don't feel like you got to win it on every throw. Take what the defense gives you and protect the football. Win the turnover battle, you're going to win that game. Could the Bears win? Yeah, they could win. They're playing really good football right now. They're high right now. Their defense has still struggled, but their takeaways are just unbelievable. And again, Dennis Allen, I'm just going to throw this out there. Matt LaFleur was praising Dennis Allen earlier today, right? Talking about their ability to take the ball away. He said he did a joint practice back in 2000. It's either 2008 or 2012. Matt LaFleur was on the staff with Houston. They did a joint practice with Dennis Allen's New Orleans Saints at the time, okay? He may have been a DC at the time, but he was on the staff. And he said, yeah, we seen him emphasizing that back then too. Now, if you rewind a couple years, Jordan Love's first, I think it was his first come-from-behind win at Lambeau Field was against the Saints. Dennis Allen, I'm pretty sure, was the head coach. So it was Dennis Allen's defense that Jordan Love put that game-winning drive together. Doesn't mean he's going to do it against Chicago. The numbers look bad for Chicago's defense other than the turnovers they're forcing. But this is going to be a fun game, 1-score game. So that's all I got, guys. The voice is going. I just want to get in here and talk some ball with y'all, and I was going to come up with one 15-minute topic and just do a quick hitter and get out. And I looked down, I'm like, we need to talk about that. We need to talk about this. We need to do that. So I'm glad we got a chance to hang out here. I know we got a bunch of people in. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. If you would, please do me a great big favor. Just hit like for us really, really quick. And if you're new here, hit that sub button and click that bell icon so you're notified whenever we go live in the future. We're going to do a little PFF preview tomorrow. We're going to start to dive into some of the key matchups. Packers, Bears. We'll look at our offense against their defense against our offense, right? We'll look at some of their Tuesday players, things like that, kind of get a good beat on, okay, what are the Bears doing really, really well? I'm going to try to dive into the tape later tonight and see how they're getting these turnovers. I want to come away with a good understanding of, okay, what are they doing in the turnover game that's so different than everybody else, if that makes sense. So that being said, that's it, guys. Thank y'all so much. We don't deserve the viewers and the listeners that we get. Y'all are always so kind, and all the support over at patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. Everything y'all do, just please understand, sometimes I don't get to say it as much as I want to. You are greatly, greatly appreciated helping us build this community here at PTA. So we will see you guys either later tonight or tomorrow. You never know when we're going to go live, so just make sure that bell icon is clicked. But thank y'all so much for making us a part of your day. My name's Clayton. This is PTA. Go Pack, go.
Here we go. out.
We're out. Bye, guys.